Welcome to Vacuum Wars, and to an updated review of the Dreame L50 Ultra after 3 months of real-life use. Because the Dreame L50 Ultra was our long-running best pick on the Vacuum Wars Top 20 Best Robot Vacuum list, Amanda, the head writer for Robot Vacuums here at Vacuum Wars, decided to take our studio unit home. Her floor plan is a mixture of laminate wood, tile, and rugs, and is about 750 square feet. She has a busy home with school-age children and a dog that sheds heavily. We're going to start with the pros of the Dreame L50, and Amanda noted that there were a lot of them. The biggest pro she found with the L50 was that she just didn't have to think about it all that much. She scheduled a daily full floor mop and vacuum for early in the morning before the clutter of the day built up. This allowed her to start the day with a clean floor, and the robot rarely needed much from her. Initial navigation was strong. The L50 mapped her home in just a few minutes, and the robot recognized and labeled the rooms and thresholds well, with only minor tweaking required on her part. She did add a large area rug to the living room at one point during testing, which triggered a little confusion and some odd navigation patterns, but the robot was able to recover after a few runs without remapping. It did flip over a corner of the new rug sometimes, but that was something she could fix with a little floor tape. Obstacle avoidance was also good. Even though it was working in a busy family home with a lot of cables lying around, the robot moved around them fairly reliably. Every now and then it would roll over a cable, which sometimes resulted in a mop pad falling off, but Amanda reported this only happened about 4 or 5 times in total. The robot also recognized her dog and did a pretty good job of giving her enough clearance whenever it was working around her. As far as vacuuming goes, the L50 did well. She noted the floor didn't feel gritty or sandy underfoot, and the pet hair was managed all right, although not perfectly, as we'll cover in a moment when we get to the cons. It was not very loud while it worked, with the rolling of the wheels over the hard floor seeming louder than the suction. Edge cleaning was mostly satisfactory, although she still needed to manually clean food debris close to cabinets that were a little beyond where the L50 could reach. Mopping is a big consideration for Amanda, because her home has mostly hard floors, and the L50 did a great job here. When the mop pads were new, there was almost no noticeable streaking, with streaks becoming progressively worse as the pads started to wear. So, when the mops were replaced on time, the mopping was a big pro, and she was really happy with how the floor looked. It handled everyday messes, like muddy paw and shoe prints, and took care of the small daily kitchen spills and splatters. Supplementary manual mopping was only necessary every few weeks in hard-to-reach kitchen areas, although the bathroom was another story. The flooring in her bathroom is a combination of a rug and a very textured tile, which the robot sometimes confused for carpet. This meant that parts of the bathroom floor would not get mopped, and changing it in the app did not really help, as the robot kept sensing it as carpet anyway. The Dreame app was very easy to use, especially with the features that mattered most. Managing the map with no-go zones and thresholds was simple, as was the scheduling feature, room selection, and customization. However, Clean Genius mode, which is Dreame's AI mode for intelligent cleaning, often did more passes than Amanda thought was necessary. The runtime on a regular cleaning for the whole 750 square feet was about 50 minutes, while Clean Genius took an hour and 20 minutes. It also meant more filling and emptying of the water tanks, because some rooms would be mopped twice, so customizing rooms herself seemed to work better. As far as maintenance, the dock was easy to care for. The removable part of the washing tray only had a small piece that needed to be taken out and cleaned, and the base tray did not have too many nooks and crannies to collect hair and grime. The water tanks were easy to empty or refill, and when Clean Genius mode was turned off, they did not need frequent attention. Amanda's only real complaint had to do with pet hair. Her dog's breed sheds heavily, and while the robot is able to pick up the hair really well, it did cause problems inside the dustbin and the dock. The hair would often wrap into ropey clumps, especially if there was anything else on the floor for it to wrap around, like twist ties, bobby pins, or even longer human hair. The dustbin would get choked at the ports, and the hair would gather in the dock as well, blocking access to the dust bag. Whenever the dock clogged, the robot's onboard dustbin would not empty, and eventually the suction would go down. She'd find little clumps of rolled up hair on the floor, which was her clue that it was time to check on the debris channels in the dustbin and dock. The hair issue was less of a problem when there wasn't anything else on the floor for it to wrap around, but obviously that's not going to be the case much of the time. This caused problems about once a week or so, and it wasn't something that the app or the dock would alert her to. She ran the robot daily and brushed her dog regularly outside, which are things we recommend for any pet owner to do with a robot vacuum, so she thinks this is the best it was going to be. Her search for a flawless pet hair solution continues, but the L50 had the best results with her dog so far. and she'd still recommend it for pet owners as long as they keep an eye on it. Overall, Amanda agreed with our original assessment of the L50, and she's going to be a little reluctant to swap it out for the next test subject. Be sure to check out our website for all the latest robot vacuum news and reviews, and take a look at our top 20 robot vacuum list. We purchase each model and test it ourselves using our own independent testing protocol, so you always know you're getting our honest assessment for every product we recommend. Don't forget to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you go. Thanks for watching.
All of the links in the description are updated regularly to reflect our current favorite vacuums in multiple categories. You'll also find links to the Vacuum Wars website in the description, where we have more detailed lists of our favorite products, like our new top 20 robot vacuums list, which is updated weekly.